y'all, and welcome back to Growing with Ray. So today's video, you guys, as you saw in the title, is us talking about the things that I'm starting in April. Now you guys, we're going to talk about the things I'm starting indoors, but let me tell you a few things you can go ahead and start outdoors as well. So first thing first, you can go ahead and start some lettuce. You can go ahead and start carrots. You can do arugula. You can do beets. You can plant your onions. You can do green beans. You can do sweet peas. You can direct sow corn. You can go ahead and direct sow sunflowers. Anything that I'm starting indoors, you can go ahead and direct sow. It's just they really won't come up until your last frost is over. All right, you guys, and that's everything that we can start outdoors. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the things that I'm starting indoors. Since I did already tell you about the carrots and the sweet peas, I'm gonna tell you the things I'm starting indoors. First, we're gonna go ahead and start with squash. So I am growing some zucchini. I'm growing the blue Herbert squash. I was told these are good, but at the same time, these are a great trap crop for like the vine borers. So we're gonna see if this really works, and I'm gonna put it in a different section of my yard in general. I'm gonna plant a few of these and let them grow on the other side of my yard. We have table queen squash. These are also known as acorn squash. I really actually enjoyed them last year. I actually substituted these for sweet potatoes once, and they were really delicious in our meal. Another thing I'm starting, this can be considered a squash if you eat it young enough. But this is loofah, which is going to be sponges. So I'm growing that. And then we're going to go to corn. You can grow any type of corn, but you need to do one type of variety for the year, unless you have, I believe it's like 100-foot difference, maybe 50-foot difference, because you don't want them to cross-pollinate. I am going to be trying the bull sweet corn from Rare Seeds. Next thing that we're starting is also going to be cucumbers, you guys. Now, last year I didn't do any type of pickles. I actually tried my hand at pickles in a prior video when we were preserving things from a cucumber I purchased from the store. So I am going to go ahead and grow some. Now, I am growing the Wisconsin SMR pickling cucumber because I was told that the national cucumbers are good and that's what they're bred for, but these will actually be a little crunchier from what I was told. So I'm going to start these. I'm going to also start one plant of the Market More cucumber, and I'm starting that because I like to eat that on salads. I like to put that in Italian dressing and make a cucumber salad. So we're growing that. I got this a few years ago at an event at one of my friends' complexes, and they gave out seeds. And so I want to try growing these blondie. They're called Booth by Blind cucumbers. I just think they're cute. I'm sure they taste exactly the same like regular cucumbers, so fingers crossed. Next we're going to talk about is green beans, you guys. Now with the green beans, of course, I'm going to go ahead and do the dragon tongue green beans. I don't feel like they have a different taste from the green beans. I just like the fact that they are multicolored, and every time I've cooked them, they've gone just regular green. We're also going to do some Kentucky Wonder, and these are a pole bean. And so what I am planning on doing, since I did talk about the corn and the squash already, I'm planning to do the three sister method with my pole beans. So the corn's gonna get started first. Then I will start the beans maybe 2 weeks after that. And then I'm gonna start the squash like second to last week of April, depending on how quickly the corn grows, you guys. Next, oh, this is another pack of the Kentucky. Next, I'm gonna do some bush beans, and this is the French fillet. I have liked this variety, and I know I still have about 4 more packs of this because the first year I grew it, I just liked it so much. I don't know how I knew I was gonna like it. And last year, my green beans didn't do well. What I do know though is I do like these frozen instead of canned. That's how we enjoy them, so that's what we're going to do. I did say that we can go ahead and do peas and carrots. Then we're gonna go ahead and go into pumpkins. Now, I am growing a few varieties of pumpkins. Only two of my varieties of pumpkins did well last year for me, and that was the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. I did good with that. I think I got 2 of those, just as well as I did Cinderella, and I got 2 of those as well. One of them ended up rotten, so I figure out what I'm going to do about those pumpkins, because I ended up developing a little pimple almost like. And I'm not sure why, so I am going to do more research on that and talk about that once we plant them, on how to try to prevent that, because it was very unfortunate. It rotted from the inside out, you guys. But I did get one Cinderella pumpkin, and Cinderella pumpkins are very great to be used in pumpkin pies, pumpkin purees. You can use any pumpkin for that, really, but certain varieties are bred for certain reasons. And I thought it was pretty. It's literally a Cinderella pumpkin from Cinderella the movie. It's really pretty. Another thing I'm going to try again that did not survive was the Velicano pumpkin, which is a white pumpkin. I think they're really cute. They're small little petite pumpkins. They're not this small. They're about, I don't know. They're just small, okay? They're just smaller. And then I also want the very baby type of pumpkins, which is a mini harvest blend. This will be something I know I can get for any of the little babies in our life, like my niece and things of that nature. Now we have two more categories, you guys. The first to last category will be melons. You guys, I am growing a lot of melons this year. We did extend the garden, so because of that, I want to grow a lot of melons, and I will allow a lot of these things that I've mentioned today, like the squashes, the pumpkins, and now the melons, to sprawl on that area that we did go ahead and extend the garden with. So we are going to try this French variety again. It is called Prescott Fine Blanc. Now, I tried it last year, but that got shaded out by the cabbages I was growing in the bed, and then it just didn't have enough time to recover, and I ended up putting a hollyhock in the bed, not knowing it was a hollyhock, thinking it was some type of squash, and that just vastly took over everything. We're also going to be trying the Kajari melon. I planted these late because I did get the seeds late from me ordering them later. So we're going to try that again and give it a great opportunity to see how it tastes. We are also going to be doing the Royal Golden Watermelon. Now, I want to do this one. One is from Rare Seeds, but two, because when it's ripe, it turns yellow. The rinds turn yellow. And for me, this is my third year growing watermelons. It's still been hit and miss. Even though I've done the dry tendril, even though I've done the knocking, it sounds hollow. Even though I've done the thing of turn the water off and let it sit for a few hours so the sugars will caramelize in there and just intensify. No, we've had to add some sugar sometimes, not to all of them, but to some. And because of that, I want to make sure I'm getting ripe watermelons this year. Also, another thing I'm going to try is another French variety, and it's called Delice de la Table Melon, or at least that's what I've always called it. I am also going to be trying a Tiger melon, or Tigger melon, since it has two G's. Another thing that we grew last year, we grew two yellow varieties last year, I believe, but I do believe it was the Mountain Sweet Yellow that came up, because it's so interesting the way it works out, you guys. I grew different varieties of watermelons last year, and every time I gave a watermelon away, it was a regular pink red rind watermelon on the inside. I'm sorry, not on the rind, but on the inside. But all of my watermelons was either yellow or orange. So we're gonna try to do better with labeling. Last year we did not try this one. We did the orange glow, but we're gonna do Leilani Sweet Glow as well this year. I'm really excited. And then last but not least, we are doing cantaloupe, you guys. I have seen so many different ice cream popsicles you can make, so many different jams and sherbets. I mean, me now figuring out how to do that sherbet, and that was just something I came up with after doing a little bit of research. I was like, if we can make popsicles, let's see if we can make sherbet. And everybody that I gave it to absolutely loved it, okay? Y'all, so last and not least, we are doing some sunflowers. So I did find a few varieties that I didn't have last year, and I'm really excited for them. Now, what I did do last year was a regular sunflower. What's so interesting is last year I was not supposed to be getting sunflowers. I threw them out so that the birds could have some food, because I didn't have any bird food at the time. They ate majority, but then I had a lot of sunflowers come up. So I want to intentionally plant sunflowers this year, you guys. I'm gonna get those started, and in this area where I know I have this grass that grows up every year, I think I'm gonna put them all right there to see if they can weather the storm, and then also use those ornamental grasses as like almost like a a border that allows them to not be knocked over by windstorms or any bad rainstorms or anything like that. So we're gonna see how it works out. First thing first, I did find this sunflower. It's called Red Sun. I think that is really pretty. It is very pretty. Orange is one of my favorite colors. And so had to get that. Next thing next, you guys. So my sunflowers were not mammoth sunflowers, but they still got to 12 foot and 7 inches. I can insert a picture here of me doing the measurements of it. And you guys, I did it through my phone. It was just so freaking cool to even see that they got that tall. You could see it from in front of my house. And I had neighbors stop me to ask for some sunflowers. So I want to put these truly on display this year in the front of the house. And yeah. And so I'm going to do the mammoth sunflower, you guys. If I was able to get those to go 12 foot 7 inches, maybe I'll put one there to see if it'll go higher. But I really want to put these in the front. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But I know for a fact it was not a mammoth Russian. It was not any type of mammoth variety. Again, those was by accident of me trying to feed the birds. What they didn't eat is what germinated. And I actually have 3 sunflowers from last year that have already started to germinate back there, and they're by my pond. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Another variety that I found this year reminded me of the blanket flower. I believe I showed you guys that. If not, that's a behind the scenes thing that I planted, but this reminded me of that. And so we are going to plant this type of sunflower as well. And these are the Autumn Beauty mixed colors. And I do know last year I had an Autumn Beauty, but they actually are like multi-stem versus the yellow one I grew last year was a single stem. And once the single one came out, then it gave the offshoots. These just grow offshoots in general, you know, like how tomatoes and peppers do. So we'll see if those are going to be big or not. I am also going to try this Evening Sun variety from Rare Seeds. I think they are extremely beautiful. They look like a sunset. They look like an eclipse. They just look beautiful. Just beautiful. Last but not least, these as well was like how tomatoes do multiple shoots on them. And this is the chocolate cherry sunflower from Rare Seeds. I'm really excited to try them, and hopefully we have a great year with sunflowers, you guys. But with that being said, we thank you so much for tuning into the video. I will see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.